So I'll be talking about the Aztecs in Mexico, the Maya on the Yucatan Peninsula, and then we got the Incas down in South America. So these are the people that are waiting. They're not really waiting because they don't know what's happening, but they're the people that are there that are living when the conquistadors come. So once we get to this point in history, Columbus sparks all this exploration, and then everything goes wild. But we'll talk about a little bit about their interaction. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about like what are these civilizations that they're going in meeting with, and they're actually some pretty interesting stuff. So you may be asking yourself, how the heck were people over there? Now, there's debate among historians how people got over here, but the best guess we have is that there's the Bering Strait, which is between Russia and North America. At some point, it was frozen over or was connected, and then people were able to get into the Americas from there. Then it was cut off, and then there was an interaction between these different cultural groups. All right, let's start with the Aztecs. The Aztecs are famous for their foundation legend, which is said that they should create a city, or the founding of a city would be on a place where there's an eagle perched on a cactus with the snake. And that's why you see that on the Mexican flag today. Their capital city was Tenochtitlan. It's a fun city to say. Really cool. It's built basically on an island, and it's a series of little islands that they have with these beautiful floating gardens. Polytheistic, which all three of these civilizations are. Sun god is increasingly important. Practice human sacrifice, which is common in this area of the world as well with the other civilizations. Pyramids, which you see as well. And the big thing is gold, right? When you think about Hernan Cortez, which we'll talk about, and he's looking for gold. So Hernan Cortez is the dude that comes, and he fights against Montezuma. And Montezuma can be spelled a couple different ways and pronounced different ways, but you probably know him as Montezuma, so I'll put it there. Montezuma actually welcomes him first because of a prophecy about somebody that's a god coming at this period of time. But Montezuma is held as a prisoner by Cortez, and then eventually he is killed. So here's a picture of Cortez right here, and then Montezuma here on the left. The Mexican flag today has this Aztec foundation legend actually on it, so there you go. They also developed a cool game, kind of like a soccer thing. You may have seen it in movies. It's been told that the losing team, or possibly even the winning team, was sacrificed as a result of the game. They had to get the ball through the hoop, kind of hit it up with their hips. And some pictures of some Aztec pyramids used in religious functions. And another shot for you guys. This is kind of cool. This is an aerial shot of Tenochtitlan. Like I said, it's built like a series of... It's basically a floating city. And another picture of some Aztec pyramids. This is how their gardening would have worked in these kind of floating cities. And another one for you of how this would work today. Human sacrifice, everybody's favorite. And somebody getting their guts ripped out or their heart. And then the priest actually, out of respect, would eat part of it. Which is kind of weird, but whatever. And just some more human sacrifice, just to make things more interesting. So, yeah, I got a lot of Aztec pictures for you guys. Now, sadly, as I discussed with Columbus, the European diseases are going to really take their toll. And these are some Aztec depictions of people's smallpox. And a lot of people do die from these diseases that are brought by the Europeans. All right, enough about the Aztecs. Now I'll move to the Maya. The Maya area called the Yucatan Peninsula, which is modern-day Belize and Guatemala. They have a form of hieroglyphics. The most famous one is the calendar. Do you guys remember way back when, 2012, the world was going to end? That whole stupid thing? That's the Mayan calendar that they're talking about. Temples, and if you think about gold being the Aztecs, corn tends to be associated most with the Maya. So some Maya temples, obviously there's a lot of cross-cultural stuff when we're talking about Maya Aztecs. Maya are actually before the Aztecs significantly. And another pyramid shot for you. Royal Palace. So here are their hieroglyphics, their form of writing that they created. This is kind of cool. So this is the Mayan calendar, and this is what they used to interpret all these future events. So they would take this and line it up and interpret and predict and kind of do some form of divination. And this was their counting system, so it's actually pretty basic, but you can see the dots represent 1 and then the lines represent 5s. And last but not least, the Inca. The Inca are in South America, mostly Peru, and their capital city is Cusco in the Andes Mountains. Or they're associated with the Andes Mountains, I should say. Machu Picchu, you've probably seen, just a very famous royal site. They created kind of a cool road system. They're famous for their use of the potato and their knotted strings system. I'll have a slide on each so you can use a little bit of a picture. The person that conquers them is Francisco Pizarro, and the leader who was killed by Pizarro is Atahualpa, and he's a famous leader as well. Here is actually a depiction of his death and the people going and mourning his death, the Incan leader, which was kind of a weak empire at their time anyways. Now, time for the Machu Picchu pictures. I'll just kind of click through them here. You can take a look. Just really pretty and really cool up in the mountains. I can't say much else besides that. Who doesn't love a llama picture? You can see the terracing over here is kind of cool. And if you imagine, you got to use your imagination, right? But what was where? You can take a look and pause here. Their string writing, which was a form mainly of record keeping. It's not like they're writing novels or something like that. And so you can kind of see with the strings how they interpret it, how they use it for basically a form of accounting. And then the road system, kind of like an old school Pony Express. Guy would get the message, deliver it, run down the road. And last but not least, this is the road system, the main kind of road that the guys would run down, and they'd bring one message to another. So there you go. You got 3 civilizations that existed prior to European exploration and definitely come into contact and have a big effect on this mixture, this conflict between the old world and the new world.